Bien, bienvenidos una vez más, como siempre, nos gusta traeros a grandes especialistas, grandes profesionales dentro del mundo de las ventas, del marketing, gente que tiene que aportar. Y hoy tenemos un invitado pero que muy especial. Estamos con Nathan Latka, es el fundador de Hello y además lo tenemos ahí. Nathan, thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm sorry for my English because I speak Spanish, Christian speaks English for me, so it's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here. This is going to be fun.
Going to be fun. De hecho, I'm going to tell very quickly how we actually got to know Nathan. Y de hecho, él fue el fundador de una empresa, Hello. Nos va a contar los detalles porque es impresionante lo que él consiguió con 19 años, ¿vale? Recordamos que casi estaba en la pubertad y estaba haciendo unas cosas impresionantes. Además, tiene un podcast. You have a podcast called The Top, and you're killing it there too. So, excellent. How old were you when you started Hello?
So I was 19 years old, basically just popped out of my mother's womb, fresh born, baby. But I was 19 years old.
Excellent. One question. Y una pregunta que yo le haría es ¿por cómo tuvo esa idea, no?
Sí, o sea, ¿cómo tuviste esa idea? Sería una gran pregunta y además luego cómo la ejecutaste, que sería importante.
How did you come up with the idea of Hello?
Well, I was super insecure. So I was when I was in university, basically I was studying architecture, and nobody was hiring architects in 2008 and 2009 because of the financial crash. So I went home that night, and I was in my dorm room wearing my ex-girlfriend's Christmas boxers. They were red with Santa Claus. Okay, Alfonso, Christian. That was the only thing I got from that relationship. Let me tell you. Okay, but I was. At least one thing, yeah. I was wearing these boxers and I started cold calling people, selling them custom fan pages. So I pre-sold $73,000 worth of fan pages, and then I launched that into a software business at 19.
How did that work? So you're 19, you want to launch that. How did you get people to fund the idea? Did you fund it? Did you self-fund it? How did it work?
Well, so I pre-sold $73,000 worth of it. So I'd call up you guys, I'd say, Christian, Alfonso, you guys aren't real executives unless you have my executive Facebook fan page tab, and go on for 40 minutes, me selling, do you want one? Eventually you'd say yes. It took me about 10 calls to get one person to buy. And I would say, okay, put $700, send it to me via PayPal, and I'll deliver you your product sometime over the next 6 months, because it's going to take me time to create a beautiful tab for you. And so my thinking was, I had no idea how to build these tabs. No idea, right? But my thought was, if I sold at least 70 grand worth of them, I would teach myself code and start actually delivering the product. So that's how I pre-sold it.
Increíble, ¿verdad?
Sí, totalmente. Pero también los desafíos, ¿no? Porque yo creo que seguramente le queremos preguntar a Nathan cuando empezó, algunos desafíos tuviste que encontraste, ¿no? ¿Cómo los venciste? ¿Cuáles fueron?
Okay, you grew that company to what level?
Well, so when we grew it to about $30,000 per month in sales, and then we raised $550,000 from investors. That was over the first 2 years. We then spent another 2 years on it, and in total, we raised over $2.5 million from a Forbes billionaire. We grew the team to 25 full-time employees, over 10,000 monthly paying customers, paying between $30 and $300 per month. And we did over $5 million in revenue before we just sold the company to our number one competitor in February of 2016.
Incredible. What were your challenges when you were that young? What were the most challenges that you had building up the company?
Yeah, look, the biggest challenge, part of it is actually age. I mean, that was part of it. But what I would do is when I was raising capital, Christian, I would go to this guy was a Forbes billionaire. His name was RJ Kirk. And I said, listen, RJ, you're making all these investments on all these old white guys that are like 50 years old. They're going to die in like 30 years, okay? So your payback period on those guys is only 30 years. You invest in me when I'm 20, you have a payback period of 60 years. Now, do you want double your payback period? And boom, I get $2 million.
Incredible. Wow. Smart.
You got to make age an advantage.
Totally. Wow. You did. ¿Qué otra cosa pensamos que podría ser?
Yo creo que, claro, vence esos desafíos a la hora de crear la empresa, pero claro, también pueden venir otros desafíos. Por lo joven que empezó con la empresa, ¿cómo hiciste, por ejemplo, Nathan, para gestionar pues la empresa, los trabajadores, lo que es todo el dinero que empezaba a entrar, ¿no? Alguien podría pensar, alguien tan joven no va a poder gestionarlo.
How did you get to manage with that age employees, people, scaling up a business, finances. How did you do that? Who were your mentors? How did you get that around?
I didn't really know what I was doing, to be quite honest with you. I knew that nothing worked unless you had sales. So I started there. I got sales. And then as we started growing, I then found somebody in Blacksburg, Virginia, who worked at the Virginia Tech Entrepreneurship Club to come on and join as CFO to handle all the taxes and healthcare for benefits and for team members and all that. And then my first, offer letter I wrote to an employee, I just typed up in Word and I sent it out and they signed it and they joined, and that's how we started growing.
Incredible. Who were your mentors? Any name that inspired you, that helped you in difficult moments?
Well, I think the only reason somebody should have a mentor is to figure out how fast you can get as smart as them and beat them, right? Most people, the problem with mentorships is people who call themselves a mentor to other people, it's an ego thing. They like that. They don't want to see the people they're mentoring get smarter than them, because then they can't tell everyone that they're a mentor, right? So what you should be doing is saying, okay, that person is 2 years ahead of me. I'm going to go work for him for free, study his biography, and then get ahead. And you have to understand, you have to answer the question, when have you outgrown the mentor and do you move on? Many people get stuck under a mentor for decades and they lose growth. So I don't have a single mentor. I just pick people that I want to beat. I study the heck out of them and then I move on.
Increíble. O sea, esa es la mejor forma de ver el valor de un mentor.
No, totalmente. Bueno, entonces yo creo que es importante que alguien tan joven como él, que ha conseguido progresar y conseguir resultados, si alguien te preguntara, mira, yo no tengo dinero, pero tengo un proyecto muy bueno, tengo una idea muy buena, que puede triunfar, que puede ser realmente rentable, pero no tengo dinero, ¿qué consejo le darías?
Nathan, somebody now, it's maybe 19, 20, 21, he's listening to this interview, is inspired, and he tells you, Nathan, I don't have money. It's like a situation as you were in. Maybe, how do I start? Is there anything that you would do now different that you could advise that guy that's 19?
Well, I would not do anything different. I will tell you this. There are a lot of books out there right now, like Lean Startup by Eric Ries, that teach people how to become an entrepreneur. Yep, it's called The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Here's the problem with the book, though. Entrepreneurship can be taught to a degree, but you have to have some basic things to really win. Everybody cannot be an entrepreneur. I don't care. There's a lot of people right now that have funding, the businesses, they have no business being in business. So, what I would tell those people that are 19 just starting out, you have to understand you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. So what you need to do is optimize every day for trying as many new things as possible. And eventually, through process of elimination, you will find something that you are the best in the world at. And that's where you should double down. Fail everything else, because you can hire people for that. But find what you're best at and double down there.
Bueno, buen consejo que nos ha dado,
sí,
¿verdad?
Totalmente. Nathan, ¿tienes algún tipo de rutina para mantenerte enfocado en seguir consiguiendo nuevos objetivos?
Focus is hard. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Focus. Did you understand the Spanish question?
Yeah, focus is like a difficult thing, I think, for entrepreneurs. And especially when you start having success, people want to grab your time. They want to schedule meetings with you, and it's difficult. You have to say no to people. I mean, that's the easiest way to say it. My best, people go, Nathan, are you busy? I go, no, I'm not busy. Like, I'm successful. There's nothing on my calendar. I have nothing to do. It's fantastic. That's the best calendar, is a blank calendar. That's the best. When I get up and I meet with somebody and they go, look at my calendar, and it's full with like 7,000 things, I'm going, this guy doesn't know what the heck they should be doing, right? So the best calendar is a blank one. What I do on a weekly basis, okay, is I have a little Google Doc where I have daily, weekly, and monthly. And any things I find myself doing daily, weekly, or monthly, I just drop them there, the task. And at the end of each week or month, I start saying, who can I give this task to so that I don't have to do it? So I'm constantly moving things that I'm typically doing off of my plate to other people.
So, pues buena rutina, el directamente delegar a alguien lo que tú no quieres hacer o no eres bueno haciendo, ¿no?
Totalmente. Entonces, por hacer un pequeño resumen, o sea, Nathan, tú querías ser arquitecto, por lo menos comenzaste así, pero soñabas en grande, llegaste a fundar Hello. ¿Qué es lo que haces ahora?
Nathan, you wanted to be an architect, and but you dreamed too big. what do you do now that you sold the company?
Well, I'm doing a lot of things. Well, I launched the podcast. It's called The Top Entrepreneurs. Everyone said, Nathan, the podcast has no chance. You're not from Hollywood. You have no media experience. It's not going to do well. Well, it went from nothing to 1 million downloads in under 6 months. And I didn't know if that was good or not. So I showed it to some of the world's smartest podcasters. And they are telling me, Christian, they've never seen a business podcast grow that fast. So something is happening. It's incredible. What I'm doing now, I plan to own every radio station in the US by 2018. And I will produce other people's shows and podcasts and put them on the radio. I have a very unique way I'm doing that. In October of 2016, I'm launching a best-selling business book. I will sell 5 million copies of that book. It's going to be called Getting to the Top with Nathan Latka. Getting to the Top with Nathan Latka. And then, look, after that, I'm going to run and win the presidency in 2036 here in the US. I then want to launch the world's largest hedge fund, probably in 2040. I want to get $100 billion of assets under management, build the largest real estate investment trust, along with the world's largest garbage company, because as consumers buy things, they either have to throw it away, i.e. garbage, or they have to put it in storage, i.e. the REIT. So it's a perfect hedge. So I've got a lot of things I'm building, a lot of goals I'm working towards. Those are some of them.
Incredible, and that inspires because you have exactly in your mind what you're going to do this year, that year, and the next year. So awesome that you have that vision. Incredible. One thing I want to ask you is you started your business also with webinars, and you raised a lot of money, getting a lot of clients via webinars. Do you think that still now webinars is a good way to sell your products or services?
Well, a webinar is kind of like a bike, right? If you're going to go from point A to point B, you can use a bike, a train, an Uber, whatever. Webinars is just a medium. Look, presenting live for me is a great way to get customers. I'm really good. People come to my webinars and they go, Nathan, we've never seen a webinar as interesting as this. It's like a show. Christian, they tell me I eat popcorn and I watch your shows, right? They're entertaining.
Es verdad.
So it works for me. I realized early it works well for me. Folks watching have to find what works well for them. It might be writing blog content or audio a podcast or something else. But for me, yes, I love doing live presentations, whether it's on Periscope or Snapchat or Keynotes or anything like that.
Bueno, qué buena entrevista, ¿no?
No, totalmente. Yo voy a hacer una pregunta más,
Venga.
¿vale? Sobre todo para aquellas personas que a lo mejor han empezado a lanzar un producto o servicio que podría ser muy bueno,
sí,
pero a lo mejor no les han funcionado bien,
sí,
¿vale?
bueno,
Porque alguien podría decir, bueno, es que Nathan, tú lanzaste y te funcionó, ¿vale? Pero ¿qué consejo le darías a estas personas que a lo mejor no les ha funcionado a la primera o incluso a la segunda, ¿no? Por decirlo de un modo, ¿qué consejo les darías? ¿Que tiraran la toalla? ¿O qué podrían hacer?
Okay, so the question is, Nathan, what would you say to somebody that maybe he thinks, okay, you started that with that project, it worked out good, maybe you had some luck. What would you say to somebody that already started something, it didn't work, maybe he already, last year he did the second project, it didn't work, now he's thinking about launching their third project, and they're in this situation. What would you say to them?
Well, look, the way you win in anything, luck is a big factor. Luck is a huge factor. So instead of using the fact that you don't get lucky as an excuse, that's what a lot of people do. They go, oh, that person's successful because he's lucky, so I'm going to be a failure because I'm not lucky. That's what people always want excuses. Just understand you have to have luck, okay? As you mix up your ingredients for success, you have to have luck in that mix. So set yourself up for it. Here's how you create your own luck, okay? You do the same thing better than anybody else over the longest period of time, right? Most people will quit too early, right? They don't do high enough quality because they're in it for short-term cash, or they just quit. So you have to do one thing better than everybody else for a longer period of time. That's how you win.
Excellent. Nathan, thank you very much for inspiring our audience. If somebody wants to search on you online, follow you, what's the best way? You told us about your podcast. We'll put the link there. Also, is there a website somewhere that you would like people to connect with you?
Well, they can go to nathanlatka.com. I just put up a surprise for them on the homepage. They can check that out. But additionally, it drives me crazy, Christian and Alfonso, when people, entrepreneurs, they tell the story of how they were successful like 10 years ago. You know why? They lie. They never tell the truth. They tell the sexy story. Okay, so I'm 26. I want people to see my real tax data, my real revenue numbers from just last year or the year before. So if people want my real taxes that I filed here in the US to see all my revenue and everything, they can text Nathan, Nathan, to 33444. Okay, and I'll text you back my tax returns. Now, if you're overseas and that text doesn't work, you can go to nathanlatka.com and just opt in on the homepage, and I will send you an email with those taxes as well.
Exactly, and we're going to recommend people that maybe don't understand English, but they're getting the transcription from Nathan, from his voice. And also, if you do understand English, please go to his podcast and listen to it. The podcast is very interesting because in 10 or 15 minutes, he gets right into the meat, right into what really matters. He gets out the figures, the data that really matters. And if he doesn't get out, he keeps asking until it comes out. So excellent. Nathan, thank you very much
Thank you.
for your
Christian, Alfonso, thank you so much for having me, guys. Take care.